Kwasi here, and in today's video, I want to share with you the one fundamental expectation you must hold at all times in order to be an effective creator of your reality, and why you must get rid of all the other expectations you must have, such as, oh, this is going to be easy or this is going to be difficult. By the end of this video, you're going to learn why holding all of these other expectations actually work to your detriment and what that fundamental assumption is. Before I begin this video, I want to quickly announce that you can now get exclusive access to our email list where I can share stuff that I can't really share on the channel. So go down to the pinned comments down below and you can click on that, and immediately upon joining the list, you'll get access to our exclusive boot camp that I made for you. So just scroll down, click on the link, put your name and your email, and you'll get access to it. So without further delay, let's go right ahead and get started. In today's video, I want to talk to you about expectations. And this is something I've been thinking about for a very long time. And what I've seen is that when I expect something to be easy, it's never easy. When I expect something to be hard, it's actually hard. So let's understand why that happens and why expectations actually harm you. So this realization first came to me when I was starting up my business, and I was like, all right, well, I'm making, 1K, 2K a month, and I need to get to 5K a month because I needed to prove to my parents that I could make this self-sustainable, and also I could quit my full-time job. They said, if you can make 5K a month from your online business, you can quit your full-time job and do it full-time and do your business full-time. So I said, great, so I'll do that. So I started my business and it was going well. I was doing 1K, 2K, 3K, 4K, but I never got to that 5K. And that month when I quit college, I graduated from college and I was supposed to go full-time into my job, I quit my full-time job just to go full-time into my business. And what I saw was that, that month when things needed to be perfect, they were the worst. I had the worst outcome that month. The more pressure I put on myself that month in order to make money, the month of May, the more I didn't make money. And that month I made absolute zero in the business. Nothing came in. So this is what happens to business owners. They make a goal for, let's say, I'm going to use a different pen here. Business owners start with a revenue goal. Goal of 10K a month. And then month one, let's say they start at 5K. I hope you can see this. Month two, they go to 8K. But month three, when just as they're expecting it to go to 10K, they go back down to 5K. So this is something similar to what's happened to me, right? Except I wasn't doing big numbers like those. I was doing much less back then. So what happened? Why did that happen? And usually why this happens is because they put this revenue goal on a pedestal. And what happens when you put things on a pedestal is you mess things up. You make a really big mistake. And this is why. So when I put things on a pedestal in my mind, okay, so I want you to take a minute to think about this. When you have something in your mind that you can't stop thinking about and obsessing about, and you need this, you really want this, you put a lot of importance to that. So in terms of revenue, let's say you've been trying to get to a certain revenue for a very long time. This is all you dream about. This is, that's like the light at the end of the tunnel. You put it on a pedestal, your thought energy gets very, very concentrated on that thing. And when it does, compared to other things in your life, the importance level is very, very inflated to that revenue goal. So let's say, you have a chart of importance on the y-axis, importance, and these are categories on the x. So let's say you have relationships, you have a healthy amount of importance on your relationships. Health, you have a healthy amount of importance, but you have an unhealthy amount of obsession and importance with your revenue, okay? Or business, RHB. Your relationships, you're okay with, you don't have a lot of expectation or a lot of importance on it. Health, not a lot of expectation or importance on it, but when it comes to your revenue, oh man, that's so important. That's got to happen. And when you put that on a pedestal, it starts to work to your detriment. Why? Because when you put too much importance on something, you create an imbalance in the field of nature. Okay? you create an inhomogeneity in the field of nature. What does that mean? It's just a fancy word for imbalance. And nature's field basically says, oh, look, there's an unhealthy amount of importance here. Please go in and balance this out. And how it balances it out is by taking what's known as the path of least resistance. Nature will always take the path of least resistance to accomplish any means or, establish any balance. POLR, path of least resistance. And when it creates this balance, how it does it is either by taking you further and further away from the goal, or by making you achieve the goal. And most of the time, it's actually easier to take you away from the goal to help rather than helping you achieve it. I don't know why that happens, but it just does. So if you look at people who put a person on a pedestal, you have this specific person, you put that person on a pedestal, you really want that person, you have a crush on that person, you put that person on a pedestal, all you can think about is that person. What you do is you push that person away. Nature comes in, balances it out, and it makes the person more turned off by you. And it pushes the person further and further away until you forget about that person and you no longer think about that person all the time. So do you see how this happens? Kind of like that. Nature wants to make you forget about the goal and make you give up on the goal. And just when you give up on the goal, that's when it gets achieved. Aha. So have you ever had it in your life where you just completely surrendered, completely let go of something? And just at that moment when you're like, fuck it, I'm done with this. That's when it happens. That's exactly what happened to me in the month of May. I was like, all right, you know what, fuck it, I'm done trying to make it work. Whatever happens will happen. And when I had that attitude, I no longer had this resistance. I no longer put it up on such a pedestal. And that's exactly when it happened. That month of June, I think I made 5K or 6K in my business. That was the highest ever back then. July, I made 8K. And August, I made my first 20K month. And it was completely unbelievable for me because, there I was very safe and, went to almost a full-time engineering career that would pay me like 48 grand a year. And here I am making 20 grand in a single month. So as a 21-year-old. So it was completely shocking for me, but that's exactly what happened because I let go and I learned to balance my effort with surrender. And this is why it's also very difficult for people to achieve their goals, because goal achievement really is a skill of playing with dichotomies, of playing with duality. But our minds are so binary. It sees black or white, and it only sees things linearly. When it sees that, 1 month you go down, it's like, oh man, now I'm done. I can never go back up again. It projects its insecurities into the future, right? So it doesn't see the mind, the limitation with our limited mind is it thinks in binary, black or white, yes or no, on or off, and it thinks linearly. It doesn't see that things can be non-linear, okay? And because of that, we can't understand how the universal mind, how nature works in delivering us to our goals, okay? So now let's get to the solution of this. Because I mentioned to you, there is a fundamental assumption you must hold true. So what fundamental assumption did I hold true in this instance? Let's look at that. So here are the 2 keys you must follow in order to be a master of your reality. Number 1, the fundamental assumption you must hold true at all times is that the goal will somehow get achieved. The goal will get achieved. Why do I say that? Because this gets rid of, I hope you can see that. I'm going to move away from it so you can see it. The goal will get achieved, okay? Why this is an important assumption to have is that it actually creates that balance between effort and surrender. So if you really think about it, when we hold the assumption of the goal will get achieved, we no longer care how it gets achieved. Somehow it gets achieved. And the other thing that we do is we operate from that end place of the goal getting achieved. Okay, the goal has been achieved. What does life look like? What's the one step I can take, therefore, in order to move one step closer to the goal? So now we have ideas on how we might be able to get there. So this is why in our reality mastery program that we do with our customers, we focus so much on clarity on the end goal. Like, what do you want? Why do you want it? And who must you become in order to achieve it? These 3 questions, if you really ask yourself and get clear on, you'll understand you'll be able to reverse engineer your way back to, from my current state, what's one step I need to take to move closer to it? What's the immediate bottleneck I've got to solve in order to move one step closer to it? Okay? So that's number one. Making the fundamental assumption that the goal will somehow get achieved. Okay, well, the goal will get achieved, maybe not this month, maybe not next month. Let it happen of its own accord. What's one step I can take to move closer to it? The second assumption you have to make is that accept all the means that are provided to you. Accept the means. And what I mean by that is life will throw all of these spanners and try to mess things up. And to you, it will appear like they're spanners, right? To you, it'll look like life is trying to actively mess you up. But if you perceive it that way because of your limited mind, which only sees in black or white, oh, if I don't achieve 5K next month, that means I'm never going to achieve it. If you perceive it as that, then that's exactly what's going to happen. So this brings me to the second piece of it, of reality creation, which is your attitude is the most important thing. If you have a negative attitude, if your relationship to yourself and to your reality is negative, then more negative things will happen. The mirror of reality will reflect more negative events. So for example, if you perceive and you expect things to be hard and life to be hard, then that's exactly what's going to happen. But if you expect things to always go your way, then more and more events, not everything, but more and more things will start to go your way. But this is different from expectation because you don't take it for granted. You don't expect that 100% of time it'll go your way. When we do that, we build this imbalance. We create an importance imbalance onto it, right? So if you predominantly believe that life is actively working to help you out, then that's exactly what's going to happen. If you predominantly believe that you're just a lucky person and good things happen to you, then that's more often than not, that's exactly what's going to happen. It's just that our expectations start to get in the way. For how are you to know that something is a blessing in disguise? If you go down this month, how are you to know that maybe this had to happen in order for you to learn your lessons so you can go past that 10K month goal that you have to 20K month, right? You never know. So accept all of the means that are provided to you, even though you might not be able to see the blessing in disguise. Another video I made recently that might help you with this, I'm going to put it down in the description below, is understanding blessings in disguise, BIDs. And when you understand blessings in disguise and start to see them as that, you'll no longer fight against life, but you'll take the optimal path, the path of least resistance, and ride it towards your goals. All right? So these are the two keys you need to remember. Assume and accept. Assume and accept. And these are the only expectations. This is the only expectation you have to make, that the goal will somehow get achieved. For me, I made the expectation that somehow I'll get to that 20K month. Somehow I'll get to that 100K month. It'll happen somehow. It's not happening right now. Maybe I need to learn my lesson and start doing more uncomfortable things to expand myself and put myself out of my comfort zone in order to get there. And that's exactly what I did. I started to invest crazy amounts of money that I've never invested before, and it was extremely uncomfortable because I was more, all right, hold on to all the cash that you can because it might go away. But I started to invest crazy amounts of money, like dropping 5K, 8K, 10K, even 30K on mentorships and masterminds. And that's exactly what helped me to go from 20K to 100K a month, learning from the best and learning, what I needed to do. And when you do those things that are uncomfortable and put yourself out of your comfort zone, then more ideas come to you, right? It's only in this chaos of you expanding your comfort zone and putting yourself somewhere that you're not accustomed to that, you get new ideas. Doing something that's completely left field from your usual field of experience, right? So with that, I conclude this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let's do a quick recap of what we talked about today. Today, we talked about expectations and why having all of these expectations actually work to your detriment. And what we concluded was that expectations are actually a form of importance. We put an importance on things having to go a certain way. Things should be this way. The only thing that should is the assumption that you will achieve your goal. That's the only thing. And even then, it's not a should. It will happen. It's done. And what we saw was that when an importance is built up, it actually creates imbalance in nature, and nature wants to come in and balance it out by taking the path of least resistance. Most of the time, the path of least resistance involves you not achieving the goal, because it's easier for nature to keep you where you are rather than take you to your goal, unless you remove all of the resistances that you've built up with importance, right? And we saw how the limited mind, starts to put these meanings and attachments and project those, and that's exactly what happens. Our attitude gets it gets darkened by all of the events that happen and our expectations. So what we concluded was that the best solutions to this was, number one, making the fundamental assumption that somehow the goal will get achieved and operating from that end. And that also gives you clarity on the steps you must take right now to move one step closer to your goal. And finally, accept all the means that are provided. If something isn't going the way that you want it to go right now, accept that this too is a blessing in disguise. Maybe you haven't seen how it's a blessing, but somehow it is. Somehow this needed to happen. Everything happens for a reason. This needed to happen. Whatever you're going through right now needs to happen in order for you to get to that next level in your life. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Please leave me a comment letting me know what you thought of this. If you like this video, if this was valuable for you, I'm always open to hearing your suggestions as well. If you have any future suggestions on videos I should make. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Hit that little bell there so you're notified of any new video that I put out. And also, if you wanted to work closer together with me and my team for the Reality Mastery Program, you can apply down in the description box below. Just click on that link, fill up a short survey, and you'll be taken to a page where you can schedule your time with us. Now, who we typically work with are people who are business owners and entrepreneurs and creatives and just free spirits who want to go their own path in life. And what they're seeing is, they have all the tools and tactics and skills that they need, but what they're seeing is that they're stuck right now because they have an internal ceiling. They have an internal block that's keeping them stuck here. Either they doubt themselves or they're holding on to past traumatic experiences that they can't quite let go of. And essentially they feel that their identity, who they are right now, is stopping them from getting to that next level in their lives, and they can't become who they need to be. Okay, if that sounds like you, please click on the link to fill out that short survey and apply, and to see if we can work together and if we can help you get results. And I'm excited to speaking with you. And also the free Facebook group is open for you to take advantage of. The link for that is also in the description. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Till next time. Peace.